It's al-Orq time! Hello and welcome back yet again to Crusader Kings III as we continue the al-Orq Dynasty. My name is al-Orq and as always I shall be your host today. In the last episode, we expanded even more. In fact, we got some people diplomatically. A few people over here were willing to join us without any sort of conflict whatsoever, which is always fantastic. We love to see it. And our realm is that much bigger for it. But also, after 39 years of rule, well, not our father, but our grandfather, Vahid, finally passed in his sleep of his old age at the age of 71. And now we are playing as Kodadad, the Tyrant. And we are overall in a pretty good position to keep going, guys. I took a look at the Persian Empire title, and we are 40 counties away from having that be within our control. We have most of the territory ready to go at this point, but we're still not quite there yet. Thankfully, the Seljuks, as we've seen, have basically just completely fallen apart here, and all these different counties and duchies are now essentially up for grabs. Also, we have Khazaria to our north that has sort of dipped into our de jure lands here, which is not what we like to see, so we might launch a scheme against them, or maybe some kind of war, especially since right now they are extremely weak. I mean, really, look at this, guys. They have 3 wars ongoing already. They're all defensive wars, and their territory is really just kind of falling apart. So the big empires are not doing so well themselves, and so what I've done off camera, I've got a couple notes here just so I don't forget to mention anything. For myself, I've set up 2 additional marriages. Now these are with small children, but they are powerful alliances, and they're both to our east. And I figured that was probably going to be in our best interests, considering how many times we've now been declared upon by the territories over here in India. So I felt like having a couple friends in that direction would really benefit us. It certainly, if nothing else, works as a deterrence. I have also increased the size of all of our men-at-arms regiments here, knocking out a huge chunk of our income. And so it says that we're, losing 19.2 gold per month. That's going to improve as our soldiers, fully reinforce. Once they get up to that point, it should be okay. Then also, I have emptied out our prisons. If you could take a look here. Everyone here has been dealt with one way or another. For most of them, I just kind of got hooks and stuff like that, so nothing too crazy there, but I just wanted to point it out. I have also created my next kingdom title here. I am now the holder of the Kingdom of Makran, because assuming things go the way that I hope they do, we should be playing as Kodadad for quite a while, and this might very well be our last leader, guys. It really just kind of depends, but I'm hoping that this is the last person that we will play as the campaign progresses here, and we form our empire. My hope is that maybe within including this episode, the next 3, so by episode 25 is when I'm hoping to get this done. In addition to that, the last thing that I did was that there were 2 people that were willing to join us diplomatically. So Zaranj here, and I think Khadid. I set up some vassalization requests there because they looked like they were willing to join. So let's then go ahead and unpause. We, of course, still have our murder plot going here, and we have gained the illustrious level of fame, so we should be able to declare for a lot of duchy titles as we go along. But first thing I'm going to wait to do is for our military to fully reinforce there before we do anything. And I think the first war that we will actually declare for is against Sind here, because we can declare for our de jure duchy here, and that means we'll be able to take back the land that we lost, as well as gain a new land, because that is the edge of the eastern borders here for the Persian Empire title. So that is definitely within our best interest. After that, I think depending on how things go here, I might declare for this duchy title here. We can do a holy war, and then we'll gain these 2 additional counties as well. That way, we're kind of bumping up right up against the edge of our actual de jure borders, and I think that might be the best way to do that. Alright, and it looks like yet another person is willing to be vassalized. This guy wants me to transfer a vassal over, so I suppose I'll do that, because that actually ends up being better overall. It looks like we have more people that are willing to join. So up here in Rudid, so let me see, that's an additional 2 counties there. Very nice. We don't even have to give him a religious exemption. Same thing over here. That's another 2 counties. So obviously, you know, that's going to create some problems with the amount of vassals that we actually have, but it also ends up, you know, doing us some favors here. So you can see it's giving us a hit to our income, but look at this now, even more. So let's just get everybody in there, and then I'll deal with all of the different titles that we have to work with. How do we have too few spouses? What? I thought I set up the alliance there. Apparently that never went through, or the guy is no longer relevant there. Okay, well, I suppose we could marry Obayama here, because this would get us an alliance with this mercenary band. Looks like they have a chance of getting the hunchback trait, which isn't ideal, I suppose, but whatever. Okay, so can I find, then, a spouse that would get me a decent alliance? Doesn't look like it, so maybe then we find someone who has an inheritable trait. Let's take a look. And I'm going to change the age difference so it's within 5 years, just so we can get up the best option possible. We've got Sheba here, who's not bad. She's beautiful, so we definitely have plenty of children with her. And that could potentially be passed on as well. There's another character named Shiva as well, who's deceitful, but looks like Putalabai is also a pretty good choice. Alright, we wouldn't be able to get the Saidi trait from that. No, Nahal. There we go. Let's marry a genius. Ah, but that we would lose legitimacy there. Ah, that's so annoying. Okay, so they kind of made it a little harder to kind of game that and marry just a bunch of low-born people. Okay, it is what it is, guys. Alright, so we're gaining even more territory there. The fewer wars we have to declare, the better, I think. Alright, nobody else is willing to join us just yet, so let's instead just pay off the hook there. Wait, did that give us stress? No, God. Okay, we can't. We got to be careful about doing that then, because every single time we demand a payment, that is going to increase our stress level. Okay, that's good to know, I suppose. And then, yeah, these guys are not... This person's not willing to join because they're of a different faith. What about you? Not rightful liege. Well, what if I made this kingdom title here? We're close to being able to do it. Would continue to increase our legitimacy there. Okay, but... yeah, I think we need to deal with our vassal situation here. So first things first, we could, let me see, could make this duchy title here, Sistan, and that is within our new kingdom title, so we would be considered the rightful liege. Apparently this guy, oh, we can just usurp the title there, and then we can give it out. Okay, so didn't have to create it ourselves. Now, who is this? He doesn't like us because we hold his de jure duchy title and we don't have an alliance with him. And it's also the cultural acceptance, giving us a little bit of a penalty there. So, I suppose then, I can give him the Shadam there, and that decreases our stress there. Okay, so we can decrease stress by giving out titles. Alright, so now we're only 3 above our vassal limit, and unfortunately, these guys are not connected by de jure land, so looks like we'll have to turn our attention this way. What could we do? There's Kurdistan. That would get rid of only 1. Azerbaijan would be the same situation, I think. Yeah, looks like it. So, not a lot of great options. We have this one here. Kermanshah. Yeah, so that would get rid of 2 of them, so I suppose we can do that, this one's the capital. Alright, who's holding that currently? Erdogan, the accursed. Okay, well, let's create... well, God, hang on. Let's wait for our income situation to stabilize a little bit. I don't want to just spend all willy-nilly there, even though that is what we're supposed to be doing, technically. So, Rajia here, a story about the fire roars. Drinks have been had, and Rajia is calling out to me for a story. My first thought is of a famous Persian folktale, a classic that never fails to delight. On the other hand, what if I told a story of my own life, perhaps of the time Sharaf saved me and my traveling entourage when he heroically sacrificed himself by staying behind to distract a mob of raiders outside of Ain Said. So barely, that must have been when he was going on his Hajj. I don't really need the prestige, so let's yeah, let's increase opinion with our wife here. In fact, let's sway her. There we go. We'll do that, and that abandoned that other scheme, but that's fine. We're still waiting quite a while for this to be able to be fired. Okay. More payments that we could demand. No, that's not what we're going to do. Okay, we're just going to let some time pass here. Our men-at-arms are almost fully reinforced, so there we go. That significantly improved our income problems, so we're only losing now 1.9 per month. Got an inspired person here. Ooh, he wants to go on an adventure, and he is legendary. 136 gold, though. I don't know if I want to do that. Let me do this actually first, these two court events that I've been ignoring. I am enjoying a rare, quiet moment between councils when Abd al-Ghafur pulls me aside. My liege, he begins carefully, as your champion, I am proud to represent you. But this is ridiculous! He half unsheathes his blade from its scabbard, drawing attention to its many nicks and pits. I can't be expected to do my job with this clumsy bar. Surely quality is everything when it comes to acting on the king's behalf. I could go to the armory, and he'll fetch a poor quality sword. Looks like that is what we would do, because the other two options here would really stress us out. Okay, yeah, I'll just tell him to fetch a poor quality sword. Works for me. A paw full of pooches. As Amir Timur, my huntsmaster, enters the room, a gaggle of cooing courtiers descends upon him. When he finally breaks past, the cause of the stir becomes clear. Cradled in his arms is a blanket. Let me see. Timur. Cradled in his arms is a blanket full of squirming puppies. The puppies! A sort of Canaan, by the looks of them. And very impressive, too. My master of the hunt smiles broadly. My liege, I simply had to show you this litter. Once these pooches have grown and been trained, I dare say they will be the envy of every Persian hunting party. From the corner of my eye, I see two of my children, Nazgul and Turandot, clearly enraptured by the puppies, and in particular the largest of the lot. Picking up the biggest, Amir Timur ruminates. This may be the greatest dog of its generation. And for 10 years, we get fine hounds and additional court grandeur. Very nice. So, we're doing pretty well there. Okay, and I think, actually, should we hold court? Yeah, I think so. I think that's probably within our best interest, right? Let's do that. We need to gain a little bit of legitimacy there. We've not done this in a while. Not since the first time we became king. Alrighty, dust to dust. A thin, raggedy peasant stands before me, gawking at the opulence of my throne room. Obviously distracted, I call him to get his attention. Oh, I'm sorry, my lord. My village in Rye was hit by blight this year. Well, yeah, this is my village. We're talking about the capital, guys. We lost not only our crop, but our seed, too. We have nothing. We shall starve without help. Glancing around my throne room again, he adds, surely you have wealth to spare. And because we have a high enough stewardship, we can say every realm county with 15 or fewer development gets crop sharing. 5% dev growth and popular opinion up? Yeah. Absolutely. I think that affects our entire realm. Alright, merging of cultural identities. The air is thick with anticipation as my vassal, Naiba Layla, approaches me. My lord, I come with grave news, but with a solution to fix this problem. It's becoming increasingly clear that the Tajiks and Persians are becoming more, perhaps even too similar. It's paramount that we show them that it's us, Persians, who are at the forefront of innovation. So we could say, yeah, let's host a festival to celebrate our rich Persian culture that will decrease cultural acceptance between us and the Tajiks, but that's exactly within our character traits there. That's 350 prestige, so we will take it. An unconventional preacher. My liege, Vali Hormoz's voice is severe. I request that we launch an investigation about an infamous preacher in Rye. You see, this preacher is, well, that she's a woman! This is not in accordance with our faith. Amir Faramars interjects Hormoz's speech by raising his hand and taking a step forward. My liege, while Hormoz is correct in his assessment, that is a preacher's only flaw. Everything she teaches is in accordance with our faith. So, we got to make a decision here. So we could appoint her as our personal physician. We could employ her as our high almoner. She could say if she can teach peasants, then she would make a good tutor. Otherwise, I could just say, get this preacher out of my sight. I wish I could just, like, look at her. Azada, there she is. She's 34, has an excellent learning skill, and is just a very, very virtuous person. So, it is true. She is very, very pious overall, even though this obviously isn't reflected in her overall stats. She was generated for this event. So how would we respond to this situation? Arrogant tells me that we might just kind of employ her, but also the money situation is a bit of a problem. And a large part of that, guys, we're losing 25% of our total possible income because we're generous and improvident. So we're at a bit of a disadvantage when it comes to that, unfortunately. So it's hard to say. I think, yeah, I think just in this case, because we're not really doing great in terms of money, I don't know. If we employed her as our High Almoner, gives us an additional court grandeur and piety bonus, which would be helpful. Otherwise, she would be our tutor. I don't think we have anybody in that role as well, so we'll have to actually take a look at that. No, I think we need to be able to stabilize our income situation, guys, so we'll just go ahead and get her out of here. Alright, so we gained an additional 50 legitimacy there, getting closer and closer to level 4. We've never been able to reach that point, guys, and it has, you know, shown to be a bit of an issue. Thankfully, at this point, our only 2 faction leaders for independence, they are very weak, and we're planning on murdering Kutan as it is. Okay, so with that being said, yeah, let me see, this person. Yeah, you know, I want to go ahead and sponsor this inspiration here. He seems like he's going to do a pretty good job. So let's see what he can come up with. So I could have him explore Eastern Africa, the Deccan Plateau in India, journey to the Eastern Steppes, or just have him make a choice. Part of me just kind of wants to see what happens. I will let him pick and choose. So he says, "Worry not, my great Amir Amiran." Musa bows with a dramatic flair and averts his eyes. "I shall venture out and explore the world in your stead while you continue ruling over your realm. What I bring back will be of such caliber that you will feel my accomplishments permeate through the memento of my adventure." There's a slight pause before he continues. "On that note, is there an area you'd like to go? I will say the world is yours." I'll let him make that judgment call there. That's, I think, within our generous trait. We gave him some money. Now we're going to give him a little bit of agency in his job. So to that end, I suppose, okay, what we could do for the situation here in our, you know, with our vassal issues, I could conquer this territory here. Be cheaper to do it through prestige, but through piety, but we do have more prestige here. And he's very weak. And there we go. So we got a little bit of income because we're at war. Obviously, that's going to change once we raise up our men-at-arms. We do have an additional slot for a stronger, for another regiment is what I was trying to say. But unfortunately, you know, with our income situation being what it is, sorry, okay, whatever. We're just going to raise everybody up. It's going to cause some problems, but it'll be okay. All right. Jeez. Yeah, that's super expensive, guys. Wars are going to be expensive. And it looks like he was facing a war here against this other guy, Gur. So we'll have to deal with that, probably. Inspiration funded. The time has come for me to depart upon my adventure. My king, my beneficiary Musa bows as well as he can, but while being weighted down by heavy bags. Before I leave, please tell me, is there anything specific you want me to keep an eye peeled for during my journey? So I think we could do a tapestry or something unique. I think I want to go for a tapestry. Yeah, because we don't have too many of those, and I want to put up something that we don't have in our court. Alright, so this siege is going to take a little while. Actually, it's not going to take very long at all. So we're only losing 15 gold a month at this point. So let's see, bandits on the road. "My liege, the adventurer Musa sends word," the servant exclaims, holding out a letter. "For 10 days and 10 nights, me and my party has been hiding. The bandit lord Abanub has set a blockade on the road we must travel. What do you advise? Caution? Or should we fight them, trusting Allah to keep us safe? Signed, Musa," the parchment reads. He seems he's in quite a predicament. So I suppose we could try doing this here. Prowess challenge. 20% chance it's going to be of a higher quality. 62% chance it's a slightly higher quality. And they fight him off. Okay, 16% chance Musa becomes wounded. I think that's going to work. And that was the one that we got. The slightly higher quality of success chance. Alright. And we lost our bodyguard, so that'll actually help us out with our income just a little bit. And Artavan, our uncle, is scheming against Farouk. Alright, we're going to throw him in jail. Okay. There we go. So that war is done. I'm going to disband our troops and see if now they're going to be willing to join us. Looks like that war was not continued, despite the fact that it was going on there. So someone else is actually willing to join us. Where are you? Oh, right here. Okay. Very cool. So we'll take them. And someone else. Yep, Zirku. So that's what I was hoping for. Good. And let's go ahead and transfer this vassal over. That way, that will actually help us out. And now, I think for what we can... Oops, not the religion map. I think what we could do is create the Gur title here. Although I would want to take... Oh no, Herat. I think I want to do Herat instead. Yeah. So that would knock out 2 additional vassals there. So, the guy that we just kind of took on, we're going to give him an additional title. We're going to make him a duke. It's yet more money, but it's what we have to do if we really want to do this correct. Okay? Let's keep going there. This guy. Grant him the title. There we are. And I'll give him this as well. Well, yeah, I'll give him that as well, because we're above our domain limit. There we go. So now he holds that title. We're only 2 vassals above our limit at this point. And it looks like Dihistan wants to join us as well. Where are they? That's up here. Okay. Cool. So it's just going to be a bit of an issue, but thankfully we're getting close to our next perk. And I think actually I'm going to switch over my steward to help with taxes, just to kind of help that out a little bit more. Okay. A guardian for our daughter. She's going down intrigue. Who would be the best choice? Looks like Babak, our tax collector. Why not? Get in there. Okay. And so yeah, let's go ahead and vassalize him too. Let that resolve. And how close are we to the Empire title now? 91. Wow. Really, really making some good progress, guys. I want to say maybe that our other vassals might have started something there and doing some work on our behalf. Yeah, we're still... Obviously, we have that problem with our vassal limit, and that's just due to the fact that we're a king. If we were an emperor, it would be less of an issue. Okay, so yeah, we're still losing some income here, but I suppose now would be a good time to go after this right here. So we're gonna, yeah, just declare for the de jure duchy. It's only 156 prestige, and I think this time we're gonna call in our allies. There we go. Or just our one ally, and let's do some conquerage. Alright, so we want to spawn our troops right about here, it looks like. Right? Where is that? Oh, why did it go right there? Oh, I see. It has to be in those spots. Okay, so I guess this is going to be the closest. And we're just going to raise up the men-at-arms, because we're calling in a friend. And honestly, our army is good enough that I think even just them would be enough. Okay, so 9.4 gold is what we're losing per month for doing this, but let's go ahead and do it anyway. Okay, this scheme is still ongoing. We're still at minus 40%. He really, really does not want to die, but it is going to be my goal to get this guy killed before the end of the episode. Okay, so we got an additional 10% taxes there. It's not solved our problems, but it has improved it. Okay, now these guys are primarily just levies and some men-at-arms. So, and we almost even outnumber them. We're like almost evenly matched, despite that. Betrothal fulfilled. Okay. Very nice. And Nazgul is gained the fickle trait. Yeah, sure. Okay. And someone is apparently trying to kill our knight, Aswar, or Foth, whatever. That's his name. Oh, that's right. Okay, and I also forgot to mention, I started building something here in our new territory. I got the Pilgrim's Quarters, the hospices, because we've seen plagues just popping up all the time, and so getting additional plague resistance I think is going to be a little nice there. So that's started there, but I'm not going to build anything just yet until we can stabilize our income situation. And our heir, yes, he's got his first trait here. I noticed that he didn't have a guardian, so I made sure to put myself in his place. And so, yeah, I think we're going to keep him as diligent, because that gives him a significant boost to his learning. And that'll be good, I think. Alright, cool. So we got that territory there. Let's go ahead and go in and destroy this military. Apparently we lost some sort of artifact, but it's fine. Oops, no, I did not want to equip that. There, the al-Orq sword. I think I might actually just kind of destroy this artifact here. Only 52 gold, though, so it wouldn't give us that much. This iridescent stone, 28. Well, yeah, we're just going to destroy some of these things here. The masterwork items we can't. No, not that. Gosh, I did it again. Twice in a row. Okay, let's destroy this regalia. There we go, just get some additional money back. Alright, and they unfortunately did manage to siege that down. What is this? We're defending against... Oh, apparently we inherited some sort of conflict. Okay, that's annoying. It's all the way on the other side, but I guess it is what it is, guys. Alright, they're running away, so let's instead take back this part here, and Jaipal, one of my knights, throw him in jail. Okay, so we'll take this right back from the enemy. Are they going to attack us? No, I think they're going to try going back for their land. So let's chase them down. Allow me to help. Every taxpayer gains some opinion of us. Okay. Oh, there's some more troops there. A shadow over Wakisa. So that's not super close to us, but we'll summon the physician regardless. Got a hook on our son. Oh, and we actually need... We don't have a physician. So, Dina. Is that our... No, that's a different Dina. Not related to us at all. So we have two people that are excellent in the role. Yeah, who is more likely to live longer? I suppose they're about the same, right? Although Dina... Ah, I see. Okay, so she's got the physician trait and she's an herbalist. And she's about the same. So Dina looks like is going to be the better choice here. Okay. Early prevention, a soft approach. Okay. And it was a success. Very nice. So, yep, these guys... We're going to go ahead and siege this down. Amir Kudayar is showing us fealty. And Amir Kutan just died in his sleep. Oh, cool. So that worked out. He is dead. So that is one person out of the Independence faction. Although someone else has joined in. Ah, his son. Okay. Well, I'm not too worried about that then. It's not a huge deal as far as I can tell. And yeah, okay. So, they're going to try to siege back their own territory. We're going to do this first. I'm just kind of watching what they're doing here. What is this? Ah, greetings from Anatolia. My travels throughout Asia Minor have left me with quite a taste for lamb, yogurt, and eggplants, and I have sent some recipes along with this courier. I have been given a golden brooch adorned with a seahorse by one of my hosts, which I also send to you. I'm certain my travels will bring further wonders in due time. Okay. So, order our chefs to prepare these dishes at once. Why not? Alright, a nose for profit. While out on a leisurely stroll, the cry of a particular merchant stands out from the regular hustle and bustle of the street. Greetings, my lord. I have an exquisite assortment of wares, if my lord has the coin. The merchant's stall is positively brimming with baubles and haberdasheries. As a skilled purveyor of fine goods, a couple of trinkets will catch my eye in the overflow of knickknacks. Okay, so I could say I feel lucky. It's a 27% chance that we strike a bargain and get something for free. Otherwise, 50 stewardship experience versus 100, or we could get scammed. Let's say I feel lucky, and we did actually get an adequate deal there. Very nice. So we got a terracotta toy fowl. Okay. It's an inventory artifact, not even a court one. Central proposal. Master of the horse. No. We're not doing that. Sorry. We are not our grandfather. He is not a super seductive character. Okay. And let the traitor be known to all. Someone else is trying to kill Thoth. Not entirely sure why. He seems like a fairly decent fellow, but whatever. Okay. Let's go ahead and attack these guys. Ah, another inspiration event. My lord, a message from your adventurer, Musa, the servant says, handing me a scroll. My search has led me to the plains of Phrygia. They are notoriously wolf-infested, but I have good reason to think that my goal is near. Expect my return soon. Signed, Musa. The scroll reads, he surely is ambitious to choose such a risky path. 50% chance that it's going to be of a slightly higher quality, or 50% chance he becomes wounded. 25% chance from there that he's maimed. So, otherwise you could try avoiding them. Yeah, let's go for this one. And he avoided them. Very nice. And we got the Persian tapestry. So this was the final event. My lord! My beneficiary, Musa, announces his arrival in a surprisingly loud voice. He proudly holds up a package securely wrapped in cloth. I return from Asia Minor with an artifact from my journey. I take the bulky bundle into my hands and loosen the cords before peeling layer after layer of fabric. Inside is a tapestry. Musa puffs his chest as he weaves me a tale about his traveling companion who was a master tailor. Their shared adventure inspired the chosen motifs on this tapestry. So he's... Alright, he got us... wow, that's actually pretty good. So, 0.16 renown per month flat, that's awesome. An extra bonus for a court grandeur. And courtly vassal tax contribution up by 4%. That is going to be especially helpful there. So, let's go ahead and get that posted up. Can we... Where can we do that? Is it going to be here? I suppose it has to be there. So, right now what I put up was the Safatan War banner. That's just because I didn't have another option. But yeah, let's go ahead and do this. And I think just for the sake of... Yeah, just for the sake of visual consistency, or like just making it look a little bit more symmetrical, we're going to do this here. There we go. I kind of like the way that looks there. We still have all this stuff up here, and... Excellent. So now we need a small wall ornament, one piece of furniture in this corner, two in this corner, and 3 additional things in that spot. Okay. Very nice. So let's go ahead and focus on this war again. Looks like we're just going to attack these guys outright. All right. I was expecting our allies to join us, but let's stop there. They are going this direction, so let's join them here. Hopefully our allies will help us out. We're going to set them up to go in that direction in case we don't catch them. But we did. Alright, very nice. Let's get these guys here. We have the ticking war score. Also, we apparently have the war score from this as well. Do they not? Ah, they don't have enough... They don't have enough soldiers to siege that down properly. Okay, so looks like we're just going to win that war for free. Going to wait until we have the 100% there. If the situation changes, we'll then adjust, of course, but I don't think we'll have a problem. Alright, another stewardship perk. Very nice. Why are we losing so much income? Oh, it's probably because of our vassal situation. But I think what we'll do now is get fearful troops. That increases... men-at-arms maintenance per dread, and that did slightly help things out, and we lost our tax collector here. That was what was going on there. So Faribors, not only is he going to be a knight, he's also going to help us out with our taxes. Also, something else that I really probably shouldn't have done, I was kind of messing around with the tax decree here, and we got the Ghazi status, and I thought maybe that was going to help us out, because it gives you additional taxes while at war, but honestly, I'm just going to go right back to the Zakat and take the penalty to the opinion there. Also, I think I'm going to, yeah, increase this up to the Zakat as well, because that was definitely giving us a bit of a penalty there. We've been invited to a feast, and this guy absolutely loves us. So I suppose we should. Let me see. It's pretty close to us, it looks like. Yeah. And let's get a caravan master. Looks like Musa would be good in that role. The guy that we hired for the job. Yeah, there's no danger. But you never know. Just getting that extra speed there. We'll do that. We'll join a feast. Okay. And then... Let me see here. Ooh, I suppose I could do this here. Hormuz... Yeah, I could make this title, and it's currently, it would be under the control of this 14-year-old who's got some scars. Alright, good for him. So, yeah, let's form this title here. It's yet more money to spend, but it will help us out just that much more. Alright, so let's grant him that title. Ooh, not that one. Ooh, that was nearly a terrible misclick. If I had done that, he would have become independent. Okay, so now we're only 1 above our vassal limit. And I suppose Yeah, we'll get the 50 gold here, and we can get some more people under our control. So that is where? Up here? Yep, that makes sense. Get him in, and then Juwine. Where is he? There he is. Okay. Alright, more people. Alright, this war, let me see. Yep, they still can't siege us down, so we're doing alright there. Let's continue here. I'm going to try catching these guys out. Okay. Yep, became our vassal. Obviously, that didn't help us out with our situation, but it's good either way. Alright, go this way, and let's do the feast here. Have a lovely time ahead of us. Okay, and we visited the Friday Mosque. Very nice. I gotta keep an eye on this while we're at the feast here. Alright, there we go. We caught them, and they're gonna be destroyed. Is that the war done? Almost. I think we have the max amount of war score, almost, from the amount of battles. So I suppose we can just keep attacking them. Alright, so let's go back to the event here. Every feast is gathered in the hall, so it has officially started. So what started as an ordinary feast became an exceptional one thanks to the presence of Vali Hormoz. Yeah. We spoke all evening about all manner of subjects, and as things would have it, we would seem to have a lot in common. I had such a good time with him, and we've gained a friend. Very nice. It is such a joy to see my friend Hormoz. Once again, we eat, drink, and sing together as if no time has passed since we parted last. We could have been dining in a barn, and this still would have been one of the greatest feasts I've ever been to. Very nice. We got a reinvigorating friendship. Very cool. Pleasing atmosphere. Ah, is there anything more jovial than a feast? Alright, hang on. Let me pay attention to this. Okay. Alright. Guests throng to and fro, eating and chatting, while flickering torchlight plays off every light bouncing like laughter around the hall. It does me good to hobnob with some of my lessers like this, my feet up on a stool, spreading my goodwill amongst the masses of petty nobles. Sometimes it's nice to simply sit back. Alright. Do we have any stress? No. A chance to be seen with the great and the good. Yeah, I think so. Well, we could also gain some opinion, although we're callous, so we don't care about people's opinions of us. Yeah. Embarrassing impatience. Hormoz announced a slight delay to the serving of the food, and Mujda looks ready to burst with frustration. In between grumbles from her stomach, I only hear grumbles of displeasure. Could say she's making a fool of herself, and we would gain diplomacy up by 1 and some opinion for everybody else. Yeah, I'm going to say she is making a fool of herself. I'm not going to talk shit about her friend. Feast is dwindling down, and I find myself deep in conversation with my loyal vassal Nazgul. She inquires about my opinion on friendship, a subject she is deeply interested in herself. And I suppose we could... Yeah, we formed yet another friendship. Cool. As the feast winds to its inevitable conclusion, there's one event remaining that everyone is expecting, and that's Hormoz's toast to the guest of honor. Karmandar, okay? It's a decent speech, if a bit long-winded, but that's usually how these things go. The assembled guests clap and whoop politely when it finishes, some more enthusiastically than others. So, cool. Doesn't really seem to be anything that we would say above the other, so whatever, we'll just say good for him. Alright, moving back up here. Let's go ahead and knock these guys out. Alright, daylight pours through the windows, and in just one moment, the whole hall becomes illuminated. Most of the seats are now empty. Some servants hand me my weapons and take their leave with a cheery bow. What a pleasure it was to have you with us, Hormoz smiles at me. What a feast! Before coming, my clothes were slack and ill-fitting, and now I stagger out of Hormoz's halls twice as full of food and merriment as when I arrived. This was a feast I will struggle to forget. And we did gain some legitimacy there. Right. So, yeah, because we're generous, it seems like it will kind of behoove us to accept any invitations to things that we are invited to. Alright, good to know. Good to know. Oh, looks like our allies here did catch these guys out. Very nice. And someone is this guy is scheming against me. Throw him in jail. Alright, we'll deal with all of our prisoners later. Let's go ahead and attack these guys. Arrival. I'm finally home. Cool, we gained some experience in Traveler. And there we go, we're going to join our team, and that was the rest of the war score, guys. So, yet more legitimacy. We're very close to to our next level there, and we have expanded our territory yet again. So, let's see. We can usurp the Seljuk title there. He can't do that when he's fighting a war. Okay, and these guys still in the same situation, so I'm not even going to raise my troops up for that. We are finally making some money, despite the fact that we're still losing stuff. But it looks like... Okay, yeah. It looks like it might be within our best interest to make this duchy title here. Okay, we're lost just about all the money that we've gained over time, so we're really going to have to kind of cool it a little bit. But we are that much closer to our goals, guys. Very, very well done, as far as I can tell. Alright, disband the army. Yep, it's going to take 12 months for them to come back up, but that's fine. So, we're just going to let our stuff get built up, and let's go ahead and put our uncle in charge. Now, let's see. He's greedy, arrogant, and diligent. So, there's a chance that he might act against us in the future, but for now, I think I'm okay to give him these titles here. I'm not going to give him the kingdom title, but doing this, there we go. He's now our vassal. We're now only one above our limits, and things are looking a little bit better for us. Those payments we could demand? No, we're not going to. Here on the Drylands needs a successor. Okay. I don't really like the way that I don't like the mechanics of the acclaimed knights and all that stuff. It just doesn't really work the way that you'd expect it to. Okay, so now I'm just going to kind of watch this and wait for the war score to go up to 100%. We're going to gain some additional money there and take a look. Yeah, we're now actually earning some money again. So I'm okay to stay above this vassal limit for now. So compliments. Her unshakable faith in the law. She is a pious character, so let's do that. Okay. That was a sway. Oh, so she already kind of loves us. Why don't we... Oh, wait. Let's stop the scheme here. And let's now seduce her, shall we? Yeah. Apparently it's not very likely to succeed. Only 45% chance. Yikes. Alright. We're not a very, I guess, very slutty character. Best word I can come up with for that. So our daughter Nazgul has come of age. We can set up an alliance. Let me get this off of the choices there. So alliance power. That's our vassal, so that wouldn't work out. Look, is this all internal? Not all of it, but all the relevant ones. So instead, let's focus on maybe some inheritance. Well, actually, I guess we can just kind of leave her there for now. And I actually want to look at our court positions. Could get a wet nurse. Do we have any super young children? No, not that would need such a thing. Okay. How about a marriage for ourselves? Can we find a good alliance? The Kilabid Emirate. That's 2,200 troops. And where is that? That's over here. Okay. So I think I'd be willing to do that. Although she's 44 years old, so probably not the best choice. We ourselves are 33, right? Or 34. So I suppose I could do the alliance here with this mercenary band, because that would be helpful. Just want to make sure that we don't already have an alliance with them. We do not. Okay, yeah, I suppose that's fine. If we get a hunchback child, I suppose it is what it is. Okay, cool. Back to waiting. Moment alone. Yes. Would she be receptive to something like that? Let's do a subtle gesture. And apparently she did not like that. Huh. Okay. Just a kind of a picky person. And we lost yet another tax collector. How does this keep happening? I don't know. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, proper paymaster. Never want to be short on ideas for how to improve the realm's revenues. Manushir approaches me as I perform a routine troop inspection. Oh, King, I have noticed that in your own domain, local minor magnates are ever trying to engorge their purses at the expense of their troops. I suggest you give me the authority to oversee soldiers' payments. Then I could combat corruption to make sure that your army is funded in a more efficient fashion. However, I foresee Mashad becoming aggrieved, as all things concerning your soldiers have hitherto been his domain. So delegated payments for 25 years. So that decreases our army gold maintenance by 10% for 25 years. Yeah. I'm okay to lose that opinion with him because that is super, super helpful. Alright, so beneath those layers, how should I approach Regia? She seems like a reserved individual who prefers silence as a companion. At least that's how she appears on the surface. Who knows what sort of person is she is in private? Is she meek and submissive, or perhaps passionate and fiery? Well, she is sadistic, so I think in terms of the BDSM, I think I think I know which letter she ascribes to more. I'll find out once I have breached her stony exterior. For now, I have to decide how to make myself remain in her thoughts. Be as gallant and charming as possible. We do have a diplomacy trait there, and 33 prowess, so let's see. Does that work? Oh, we got another perk here, or trait here for our son. So, could be content, could be fickle, or could be trusting. Does fickle boost learning? No, it boosts intrigue. Content does boost learning, okay? And actually, let's go ahead and do that. Just stack up as much learning as possible. I managed to get a moment alone with Regia. I bide my time, balancing flattery and conversation. Then, as the right mood settles, I reach out and clasp Regia's hand in mine. I lay bare my feelings for her and declare my undying love for her. Not even in my wildest dreams could I have imagined you were this passionate, Kodadan, she exclaims while desperately fanning herself. While she doesn't respond to my proclamation in kind, I'm certain that the shade of red on her ears is due to her blushing ferociously at my bold words. Cool, so that did work. Alright, very nice. So it didn't necessarily improve things, it just kind of brought them back to the standard success chance. And looks like our other wife was mad about something. The map, thank you for bringing this to my attention. Yes. More vigilant for 5 years. Let's go ahead and arrest him. And I think we'll go ahead and immediately just recruit him. Ooh, I could get some money. No, only 10 gold. Let's get the weak cook and recruit him. There we go. I think we'll be able to get more money off of him that way. Okay, let's see. Oh, looks like we can demand a payment of this guy. Let's do it. We need as much as we can. So Shabazz, yes. That is, you know what? I'll take this. I'll take the stress there. I need money more than I care about my my mental health, I suppose. Isn't that just the way? God, feels really, really silly saying that. All right, from dust, yes. Spare no expense. Let's do it. Major disease recovery. Yep. Masonic dealings. Okay. More events related to stewardship. I will strike a deal with the stonemasons. So 38% chance that we get a great deal and just get it for free. And the cooperative stonemasons for the Vilaya of Kuwar. Is that under direct control? It is. Okay. I could have Timur help out, and actually that would be less likely to succeed. What did we get? Did it work? I'm not entirely sure. There might be another event. And yeah, actually we got it for free. Excellent. I love to see it. All right, and there we go. The war is over. And we're just going to get an additional 150 gold for free. Now, that did actually... I could have technically kept that going for longer, and I probably should have, because that was giving us additional money there. But it's okay. No worries. So, now that we're not at war anymore, the Emirate of Al-Said is willing to marry our daughter. He's going to die soon, and I suppose we do the alliance there. There's also this guy, the Sinaid Emirates, or Shaddam. That's up here, and that's actually a little bit closer to home. And there's also not quite as big of an age gap. So, yeah, why not? He wouldn't accept the matrilineal marriage, but that's okay. And honestly, there's not even that great of a chance that they'll have children to begin with, because she is sterile. Okay, very nice. Can we now usurp this title? No, he's still at war. He's probably just going to lose it outright, because look at that. Oh, well... He's going to get vassalized by these guys, and that's probably going to win. Or, that's probably going to happen. So he's at war, so he's not willing to join us. Who is he facing? Ah. So this person is attacking... Or is he the attacker? Oh, no, he's the attacker. Okay. What about you? Nope, you're at war. What about you? He would. He's close to it. If we gave him a religious exemption, she is less likely to accept. Okay. Well, we're already kind of brushing up against our northern borders there. So I suppose what we could do is attack these guys here. Do a holy war or a regular conquer. Yeah, let's do a holy war. We have plenty of piety there. Okay. Very nice. So we'll do that. And anyone else that we might declare against at the same time? No. But we do have the war income, so might as well just kind of make the use of that. And we'll only bring up our men-at-arms. Ooh, we need to wait 3 months. That's right. I forgot about that part. Okay, so we got a modest gemstone. Otherwise, I could further his education. And I think in this case I'm going to do that, because I really don't need that. We already have a modest gemstone just like that. So it's totally fine. Got invited to another feast. With this guy? Nah, I'm gonna have to... well, maybe I should. Yeah, maybe I should. Okay. 2,000 troops. Let's go ahead and bring our other guys up there. Because, like I said, if people are willing to invite us, then we might as well. It's within our character traits. So, yeah. Moonlit Confessions. What is this? Blah, blah, blah. Intimate chat. Ah, okay, we've seen this. Such tenderness, I will leave them to it. Yeah. So, 2 people have become lovers. Good for them. I don't particularly care. Someone likes us a little bit more. Alright. And there's no place I'd rather be. I can't wait to go home. Apparently we don't want to be at the feast here. Allah will judge these sinners. So what is this? Golabar, or so Nazgul has been accused of being an adulterer. Okay. That's unfortunate, but that was a decision that she made. Okay, so good. We're still earning income. That was what I was kind of worried about there. Sting of rejection. All right, our scheme to seduce our wife did fail, unfortunately. And this guy, has he learned Iranian? Impressive. Send my regards. Cool, so we gained a little bit of opinion with him. All right, and I wasn't going to make fun of him for doing that. Okay. Let's get this gold here from, who is this? Our cousin. That's all right. We can take that little bit of a hit to the House Unity. Alright, how long is the siege going to take? 11 months versus 8 months. So we probably should raise up more of our troops. Let's do that. Let's get all of our guys up. This is going to give us a huge hit to our income, but well, it'll only be a temporary thing. And we gained a friendship, maybe. Let's see. No, not quite. Okay. Yep. Chance to be seen with the greater. Actually, this is where I want to be. Let's get rid of that stress there. Okay. So, yes. So what I'll do is I'll station some besiegers. Well, here. Let me do it this way. Let's get these guys all set up together. And here we're going to say you making a fool of yourself and could never bore. Or sorry, you making a fool of yourself could never bore me. Alright, sure. Whatever. Oops, what was that? He's making a fool of himself. No, we'll get the... No, hormones as a point. Yeah, where's the food? Okay. So yeah, what I was trying to do... Here, whatever. Just let it be known. And we didn't gain any legitimacy that time, so maybe there's some sort of cooldown. Alright, so now, doing it this way instead... So, yep, only some levies and the siege weapons. And now we'll be able to go ahead and attack these guys with our primary army. There we go. Got another stewardship perk and Tomb Raiders again. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this one here. Punish the destitute. I'm not going to spend the money. In fact, I'm going to make more. So what would be the best one to do here? I guess, yes, we're going to get down to at any cost. So I suppose, yeah, we'll go down the entire avaricious trait, even though not all of these perks are super useful. Alright, what is this? A purse pursuit. As I am looking through the market stalls in Abhar, I feel my purse string cut. Despite my immediate reaction, the thief disappears into the crowd. Only through pure coincidence, one of my guards sees the man as he heads into a back alley. Stop, or I'll have your head! Stop right there, criminal scum! One of my guards shouts at him, and the thief turns around, giving us an angry, shifty stare. Petty thief, you think you can steal from me? Yeah, we're gonna do that. Let's take 81 gold. Very good. And we got some extra dread, which should decrease the men-at-arms maintenance. Very nice, and we're back home. Cool. Well done there. And yes, we are going to make it before they finish that siege. What's in a name? So, she wants to name our daughter Kodadad after us. Is that a gender-neutral name in Persian culture? I suppose. Cool. So we've had a daughter named after us, interestingly. Okay. There we go. And now that siege is almost done. 21 days. Alright, and she's sickly, unfortunately. There we go. As soon as that's done, we will be done with this war. There we go. Now I'm hoping that by gaining that territory, we'll have some additional people that we could potentially vassalize. So let's let that kind of play a little bit. And yes, I was right. So who is willing to join us now? Ah, actually, how many counties is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he's going to be a rather powerful, or 9. He's going to be a rather powerful vassal, but, well, not even all of that is part of our territory. But you know what? That's fine. That's actually super fine with me. Yeah, we'll give him the religious exemption. We do consider Maturidism righteous there. Okay, very nice. So we have made further gains into that, and no one else is willing to join. Can we observe? No, we can't do that just yet. Okay, very cool. So what does that bring us up to? 98. We're that much closer, guys. So what could we do? This guy, you have to conquer the entire duchy, and that's a lot of prestige. And for yeah, we wouldn't even be able to get everything. So we could just do the single county there. But I think maybe, where's this? Sorry, I just noticed that there's another plague, and it's the same one as before. It's killed 92 people, unfortunately. But hey, not something we're having to deal with. Cool. Okay, actually, is this the same guy? Oh yeah, this is the same guy. He's now 20. And we got an additional tax? Oh, 237 extra gold, just like that. I will absolutely take it. Alright, cool. Then, and how are our cultural fascinations doing? So 12 years to get the battlements. Okay. And looks like horseshoes are being passively researched, which is nice, because that increases our army movement speed. Cool. And this guy wants to pay the ransom. We will let him do that. And this guy is willing to form an alliance with us. Very nice. And we got some prisoners that we can ransom here. Cool. Anyone else that we could ransom? Let's have a look. There we go. So we have this person. She would only be willing if we got a hook out of her, so let's just, yeah, demand a conversion. Okay. And then same thing here. Demand a conversion and the hook. Whatever. We don't have any use for children. Okay, demand a conversion, hook. So it'll just kind of be the same thing for everybody. If they don't have any money, that's how we'll deal with that. They all have the Saidi trait, which is interesting. It's a shame that it can only be passed down through the father. Otherwise, you know, we might have made some kind of use out of that. Okay, we'll just get this guy's hook. If the more hooks we have, the better, because you never know when we might use them. And this guy is unwilling to do either one, and we're not going to execute him because that would stress us out. So he's just going to sit in maybe the dungeon. Would that stress us out? No. So he'll sit in the dungeon forever until he dies. Okay, what about you? He's not great, so same thing. Just get the weak hook. And this guy, same thing. Everybody. Actually, this guy's pretty good, so let's recruit him and get the weak hook. Very nice. And same thing, yeah. Oh, he will not convert. Could banish him, though. Alright. Yeah, let's banish him. Why not? We'll get some money off of him doing it that way. Very cool. Alright, let's let all those things resolve, guys. And we are at the hour mark, but I think I'm going to play just for a little bit longer so that we can make that much more progress. So, what should we do? Oh, well, looks like our wife had a stroke and died. Okay, so I suppose we could get another marriage started here. Anyone for an alliance. Another mercenary band here. Actually, this guy's pretty good, so why not? Yeah. Although, no, we would lose legitimacy if we did that, and I don't want to do that at all. 400. That just seems extremely, like, harsh, you know, considering the circumstances there. It is what it is. So, let's go ahead and conquer this county here, because there's really not a whole lot else to do. 2 vassals above our domain limit. You see. Yeah, we have 100 or 98 counties. Let's go ahead and get ourselves up to 100, and we'll call things good there. So we'll declare this war here, and I suppose we can declare this one as well. There we go. And it looks like he'll be left with some with 1 additional territory there, and he can have it. That's not part of our primary lands. And yeah, I'll have to keep an eye on that territory that we have. The 1 extra bit of land that we have. Okay. Yeah, we don't need to call our allies in. And I think we're just going to call in our men-at-arms. Who is their ally there? Over here? I see. Okay. Well, if he calls them in, it is what it is. These people have no friends, so I'll go after these guys first. Let's go ahead and do it that way, and we'll just raise our men-at-arms. Ooh, hang on. They're going straight in on us, so let's get our... Yeah, that was going to be really, really bad if they had been allowed to do that. So unfortunately, we have to raise up more of our people. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Merge them together, and attack. Hide and peek. What is this? Oh, it's a personality trait, the final one for our son. So chaste would increase his learning, although decreasing his fertility. Otherwise, he could become lustful, and that increases his intrigue. Well, diligent, content, and chaste. Yeah, he's very much like just focusing on the learning trait there. So 21 learning as a 13-year-old is pretty good. So he's not likely to have that many kids, but I mean at the same time, that doesn't mean he's not going to have kids. And apparently this guy wants to go to Persia. Why do you want to go somewhere that you are already located in? Makes no sense to me. There are fair stretches of unsettled land in Rye, often blamed on unsuitable terrain. Timor has suggested that an irrigation project might make it arable. Okay. Let's see. We need a ditch and soil network, so I guess if I can do it for free, and it would lead to the same results, yeah, let's do that. Makes sense to me. Save some money. Have a court event here. King of the Road, my thoughtful caravan master Musa is a masterful organizer. Since hiring him, even the slightest sojourn seems a vision of hasty ease. He busies himself day and night, replenishing supplies and updating Persian itineraries. For a moment, I am taken aback when he earnestly asks me, "My king, what is more valuable, your time or your health?" So, travel speed or travel safety. Oh, wait, hang on. Oh, yeah, travel safety or speed. And I think, what is this? Making save time. Actually, we can get both. Yeah, absolutely. Making save time. Cool. Yeah, if we can get both, why not? Alright, unforeseen difficulties. My irrigation project in Rye is progressing, but with more difficulty than expected. According to my steward Timor, the ground is both, quote, twice as rocky and twice as porous as we thought, unquote. Alright, so I could say work to death. That would decrease popular opinion. How is our popular opinion doing in our capital? It's at a, we're +9, so not great. Otherwise, we should take our time and get this right. There's a 33% chance that it just gets done outright. Let's give it a try. Nope, it's so slow progress. That's fine. It's okay. Alright, so this, and cool, war is already over. We captured an important prisoner, so could we make money off of them? 25 gold. And yeah, we'll just make a little money off of him. We still have the max war score, so I might as well, because if they... Well, actually... Yeah, so she's still considered an important prisoner, so let's get an additional 10 gold off of that before we submit our demands. There we go. Moving on, and just going to go right back in there. And that will be the last thing we do, guys. Stagnant progress. My liege, the irrigation project in Rye is running behind schedule, Timor reports. Far behind. Having inspected the work, I worry whether it will be complete in my lifetime. I cannot tell whether he is serious or not. Well, he is 53, so he could actually be legitimately correct about that. But we're going to go ahead and hire however many workers are needed. We'll spend the money there because we are generous. Alright. And Turandot has come of age. An elusive shadow. Fantastic. And someone has declared... This guy has declared love. No, abandon this foolish behavior immediately. Cool, and so we did capture her. We could ransom her for some money, but then well... Yeah, we would have to go through the entire siege there. Well, I suppose we could gain additional money off of her, but... Nah, this time I'm just going to enforce her demands. We've been doing this enough already. Alright, guys. There we are. We are that much closer to our goals. We now have 100 out of the 114 required counties to form the Empire of Persia. We're almost there. Victory is at hand. And I think... Let me see here. I'm absolutely going to be looking into declaring against one of this guy, I think, here. Because, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 counties there if we go after his primary title. And that would get us, even closer there. Is there anyone who's willing to join us? Not quite. Okay. Well, cool. I think this is a good place to end the episode off. So, thank you all so much for watching this episode of Crusader Kings 3. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I would appreciate a like, comment, and perhaps a subscription if you've made it this far and are still undecided. I mean, take a look at this. The Orc Horde is already at Persia, essentially. So, what you waiting for there, bud, as I said before. Alright, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all next time.